Hello and thank you for watching The Alchemy Kitchen. In this video, I want to show you a new score I just picked up yesterday evening. I got it in sort of a barter deal. I was doing some work for someone and they saw that I was into shooting air rifles. And they said, hey, I have something to throw in to sweeten the deal. They didn't know too much about it. I don't know. It was like in their attic or something. But what we have here is a vintage German precision air gun. This is the match version. I had to do some research on it. Looking at it right away, it almost looks like a Anschutz 22 LR. Same kind of stock and everything. It's a little bit different, but very cool. In pretty good condition. Looked like there was a sticker here to kind of clean that gunk off, which should be easy. Give the wood a bit of oil. Feinwerkbau 300S. These were produced from, I think they started making them in 1977. I did some research on the serial number, and it said it's likely produced in 1981 to 1982. There's the universal model and there's the match model. This is the match model. It has an adjustable butt plate. There's a screw on the back, so this can slide up and down. The universal model also had an adjustable cheek rest here, but that's solid one piece. I looked up the pricing on these. They're pretty sought after. They can go anywhere from between $300 to over $800, depending on the shape they're in and all the original parts. This is missing the back sight. The scope was on it when I got it. Front sight's still intact. Just a quick look, it looks like finding parts for it is not that difficult. It's a heavy gun. It's a match gun. It's not for carrying around. Ideally, it's for shooting competition at 10 meters, which is perfect because that's about the range I have set up in my backyard. So we're going to take this out and shoot it in a few moments, but I just wanted to go over a few things on it first. It's considered a classic precision rifle for 10-meter shooting. It's got a recoilless system or a sledge, so it slides back inside here. There's literally no recoil. It was the gold standard of the 70s and 80s for competition shooting. Now they've moved into like the PCP air rifles. This company still does exist. They have some really fancy high-grade match air guns for 5,000 euro and up. The energy is less than 7.5 joules. It does have the F stamp in the Pentagon. That's standard in Germany, that it's saying it is under 7.5 joules. Anything over that would have to be registered as a normal firearm. Under 7.5, they're not controlled. You can buy those without a hunting license or a sport shooting license. It has the UIT rail. You could attach to like a leather sling or weights to balance it out. Adjustable trigger. What I did just try it quickly yesterday, that trigger is amazing. Like I said, I want to shoot a little bit, but there is possibility to adjust it. It is a heavy gun. It weighs in about 10.8 pounds or 4.9 kilos. Fortunately, by the time I got home from work yesterday, it was dark. I didn't get to really play around with it. It's in pretty good condition. There's a few scratch and dings on the stock. It's a walnut stock, beautiful stock. There are some initials engraved in there. I'm sure that was one of the owners. It's not factory. Little bit of, even the barrel's in good shape. The bluing's still in pretty good shape. You can tell it's old. And just the work on this stock is amazing. That stippling on the hand, really nice. I have not messed with the adjustments yet. I'm just going to take it out and shoot it at 10 meters, put up a few targets, and see how it works. It's a cool mechanism for the side loading, just for the spring. There are possibilities to upgrade the spring. If you go over 7.5 joules, then that's it's either illegal in Germany or I would have to register it. I don't know if it would have to be proofed at that point. It's not worth doing. The idea of this lower energy is you can shoot the wad cutter pellets at a much more precise shooting with, the distance of 10 meters. This is made for precision, not for power. It's an air gun. Precision, well engineered German piece of history as it is vintage. Let's get a closer look at it while I'm here in the light. There's that UIT rail. You can, I don't know, it's hard to get in there. You can see it's an adjustable trigger. It's another thing someone mentioned, there's no safety on these. There's a lot of automatic safeties on the newer air guns. I don't want to do this inside, but basically you push down here, this lever will pull out to crank it. I can do it just to loosen it up. So that is actually a kind of a form of the safety. If it's loaded and cocked, if you just release this enough like that, it won't fire. The trigger is locked. And I didn't load it. You'd have to crank it all the way back. You hear like a kind of a gear thing, so it's really easy to crank. The only thing that's a little tricky was loading the pellet, especially with the scope on it, with the optics on it. Like I said, the optics came with it. It's a Ritter optic. It's a cheap scope, but for the price, they're actually pretty decent. Probably an overkill. Looks like it's got an illuminated reticle. Probably have to change the battery. Yeah, this thing is going to be fun. I'm going to go set up some targets. We'll go outside and see how it shoots. All right, so I got 6 fresh targets set up 10 meters away. I'm using some of these traditional match targets. You see the black is smaller than there's a bottle cap in size comparison. I also got some animal hunting targets out there. Got quite a few of these things. So put up a roe deer. I've also got a wild boar and a fox. Fun fact, if you're in Germany, you have to be a hunter to be able to shoot these targets by law. And shooting at humanoid targets is illegal unless you're law enforcement or some kind of security job. I just got these Crossbin destroyers. It's 177 caliber, 4.5 millimeter. They're 7.4 grain. I'm going to start with the top left, just a standard target. We'll take 3 shots at each, I think. So, loading this, it's this sidearm here. You got to push down, there's a little button here. It opens it up. Ah, that sounds nice. And real easy to pull back. Some of this brake action, like that I have, they're a little bit harder to do and they get a little tiring, especially if you have a tendonitis. And now this is a little tricky to get the pellet in there, but not too bad. All right, so that's in. Let's try 3 shots at the top left. I know you're not going to see it here, so from this distance. So after I'm done, I'll move the camera up to show you. And yeah, I did put a battery in, so it does have an illuminated reticle, which was working. Oh, there we go. Eye release is a little bit off for me, I have to say. If I remember right, this trigger's super light, so the first shot might be crazy. It looks like I cut the inner 2 black rings, from what I can tell here. Man, that trigger is really nice. This is a little tricky to get your fingers in here and load it the way the chamber is. There we go. The pellet sits in really nice though. One more. I had too much coffee. I threw it a little bit out of the black. That was me, not the gun. But these first 3 are just a test. Then I'll set up a little bit better so I'm at a more comfortable position. that trigger is really light and really crisp. And yeah, there is zero recoil. So you're still exactly on the target after the shot. That's pretty damn nice. So that was 3 test shots because I'm not set up very good here. Let's go downrange and look at what it did. Well, that's pretty cool. That was hole in hole in the 11. And that one I threw. That was my fault. Still all in the black. All within the 10 ring. Almost cutting that 12. I don't know if that would count. These targets are getting wet because it's raining, so they're tearing funny. I would say that's pretty damn impressive. Let's move on to the piggy. Alright, so I'm going to have to eventually build something better. This is not the most comfortable setup, especially for the weight of this. But let's go after that rod bore target. Just to the left, I pulled that. And also, I have not touched this scope. I did not adjust anything, so it's already pretty well zeroed. I wish I had a gun sled here to really zero it in. I have one at work, so I'll probably just do that there. I really threw that one. There, ricochet. I was going to put a camera down right by the target, but it's raining out, and with my luck, I'd get a ricochet and break my phone or my camera. That was a bad shot. These are terrible. That's because the camera's rolling. It's always like that. This is a little tricky to get these pellets in, but not bad. One more, then take a look. I'm going to see if I can rest on this. I'll get a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. That felt like a good shot. I'm going to take a look. And then I'll probably just shoot the rest of them off camera. It's kind of boring just watching where you can't see anything, I'm guessing. And I'll come back with results. Yeah, that was terrible. I think that was the one where it felt good, but it was a little low. These are a little low too, so it probably could come up a hair. I will adjust it, maybe one click up and see what happens. And let's finish shooting these targets. All right, so I took 18 shots down at the targets. We'll go take a look at what we did. In my defense, I had a bit of a wobbly setup to rest on. Too much coffee, caffeine. And there is some wind moving these targets around the way I pinned them, which is kind of fun. So here's where we started, I think. That's where I was screwing up. Then I went to the Fox, I believe, and got one dead center, but it was shooting low, so I started to adjust. I went, after here, I think I went 5 clicks up, and that's better than the last one. There's actually 3 shots. That's what we call hole in ragged hole. So I'm going to try to fine tune it. Can come up and right a little bit, but I mean, that thing is pretty damn impressive and really fun to shoot. The only downside is loading the pellet. I'll have to get in the better light. I'll show you what I mean. It's kind of like threading the eye of a needle for me, but not too bad. I've got another video I got to upload on Umarex Ruger Air Scout, and I'm going to shoot a few targets with that just to compare it, because it's quite a big difference. I mean, there's substantial for air gun recoil with that one. It's a lot louder too, I believe. That gun is actually really quiet. So I'm going to just do a comparison. I'll shoot a few rounds at some new targets. All right, so next up, just as a bit of comparison, I've got this Ruger Air Scout, and this is made by Umarex. I've had this for maybe about 5 years. It's also really nice, much more modern. Has iron sights, but right now I've got the scope on it that came with it. It's a cheap scope, very blurry. 4x32, not adjustable, but I believe it's pretty zeroed in. Now, it's a little bit harder to crank, not so bad if you get leverage, but a lot easier to load the pellets. So I got 3 new targets up. I'll start at the top middle. I'm gonna do the same thing, take 3 shots at each one, and you're gonna hear the difference in the sound and possibly see the recoil. So one thing about this I hate, every time you load it, the safety is automatically on. It's nice, it's this thumb one ambidextrous, but I was just dead on and ready to take the shot and forgot to take the safety off. So if I haven't shot this in a while, it gets a little bit annoying. Oh wow. What a difference in the trigger. That feels like a world of difference. I thought I was still unsafe because felt like I was squeezing the trigger so hard compared to that match gun, man. But this scope is too blurry. I think I hit in the black. Let me check on the spotter. Yep. I cut the 11 ring at about 10 o'clock. So this one's also pretty damn good. And it go for around, I think, under 200 euro. But it does tend to throw pellets more. Just occasionally they'll be around like flies. I think it has more power. It's closer to the 7.5 joules. So that could be part of it. But I've taken this out to longer ranges for sure. Damn safety. Boy, this trigger feels like it weighs 5 pounds compared to that other one. It takes some going back and forth. That really throws me off. There's not really a 2-stage. And I used to think this trigger was nice compared to some other air guns I've shot. Definitely a huge difference. So let's do one more. This top middle target. Safety off this time. Well, before I get up, I'm going to shoot the bottom right one 3 times. This gun's a lot lighter too, so it's on a kind of a not so stable platform. It's a little easier to shoot, I'd say. I'm getting some ricochet. I think I need to replace that backstop. Now I'm just kind of shooting fast, so this trigger really is throwing me off in comparison. All right, 2 targets is enough. Let's walk down and check it out. So there's our first target. Yeah, that was my first shot. There's a third one. That one, I don't know what happened there. That could have been me, or like I said, sometimes it randomly just throws them. But I mean, it gets pretty somewhat consistent grouping. I have a separate video I still have to finish editing and uploading just on that Ruger Air Scout. It's also a fun gun, but I mean, it's like a world apart from the two. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. If you had any experience with these air guns or tips, let me know. Alright, I took 3 more shots just to redeem myself with the Ruger Air Scout, and it's doing much better. I did kind of readjust to get more comfortable and more stable. or maybe the barrel just warmed up. I'll probably be doing quite a few more air gun videos. I think these are the first ones I've done on the channel. My channel is a little bit varied. It's all over the place, but that should keep it interesting. Till next time.